Hello, friends. Third time's a charm because I'm trying to do Restream, which allows me to show you my document camera and my slideshow like I would in a Zoom classroom. But I give up because the tools are not working the way that I would hope that they'd be working. So I am actually just going to show you old school. I talked in last week's Thursday episode about surveillance societies. And this is the assignment that I give to seniors that are reading the novel 1984. It's obviously blank and not color coded, but I'm showing you the color coded version. And the black are societies that the government and the people in charge have all of your information, everything, okay? In ways you probably can't even imagine that they have it yet. Black is bad, okay? Black means that we have a government that is surveilling your every move so that they can sell you something. And some of the information that they're selling you are from wings of the same poisoned bird. And when I say the wings of the same poisoned bird, I'm talking about our political system, red and blue, Democrat, Republican. What's going on in the world right now is much bigger than the culture war going on in your news feed or in your social world, right? It is the United Nations has rejected Trump's Board of Peace because, and if you look at who's accepting the Board of Peace, it's not pretty. No, it's not pretty at all. Who's rejecting it? The Vatican, right? Italy, France, Germany, Ireland, Slovenia. I can't name them all, but like every developed nation and country that is in not black on the map is saying no to Trump's Board of Peace. Okay. And if you don't know what's happening and you've never read 1984, what you need to realize is what the things that this book teaches, that, you know, you can change people's worlds and their worldview by eliminating information from them so that they never know the truth about something, which is what the mainstream nudia, Freudian slip, the mainstream news has done that for decades. They hide facts about other countries because they don't want you to know the truth. And what George Orwell was saying rings true today more than ever. If you think you're free, you need to think again. And if you don't understand how politicians are trying to rewrite history, take a look to Tennessee this week. In Tennessee, they're trying to make having an abortion a capital offense punishment. Capital offense is the death penalty. So they're leaders, white men, and they're not white supremacists. No, they're white narcissists. Let's call it what it really is. Let's say the true facts, because we keep spouting supremacy. They're not supreme. The Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers and all the people who are now ICE. Notice how quiet they are. We can't hear from them anymore. Why? Oh, because they are ICE, right? They don't care what we think. They're following orders because beta boys follow orders more than anyone else on the planet. Tennessee is trying to make abortion a federal crime. They're trying to lower the age of consent to 14. Why do you think they're doing that, people? Because they don't want to be held accountable for the crimes they've already committed and are still committing because of the Epstein files. So if they lower the age of consent, maybe some of them are going to get off because she was 14 or she was 15. I don't know about you, but I wasn't a fully developed human being at 14 or 15. Grown men have no business trying to have a relationship with teenagers. I haven't had a sexual relationship with a teenager since I was a teenager. That's the way it should be. That's the healthiest way I can say to be. So The only way, listen, the only reason the tariffs are canceled is because thousands of businesses stood up to the Humpty Dumpty administration and sued them, Costco to name one, and said these are illegal. 9 of the Supreme Court justices voted. It was 6-3. Gee, can you guess who the 3 dissenters were? Oh, are they Humpty Dumpty's appointees? And some of you out there, you're sycophants and sociopaths who vote over your triple Trumpers. You didn't know what you were voting for, did you? You thought he was fun and cool and he says it like it is. I have said since day one, I wouldn't shake his hand. I quit the school that I was working at because I knew what was coming the next year, and I saw who sat at the leadership table, and I was like, if this is how it is and Jared's kids haven't even hit the high school, I don't want any part of it. You have rabbis, most arrogant rabbi I've ever met in my life, this British dude, tells kids you're an embarrassment because they brought non-kosher food to one of their friends' celebrations that he got a full ride for college for basketball. In front of the whole staff, you are an embarrassment. And had a temper tantrum. The behavior specialist there, he's the biggest police bully cop of all. He walks around, his eyes burst out of his head. He turns bright red, and he's in charge of behavior. They have kids who can't read, and they don't even know it, and their parents don't know it either because they give grades away at that school. If you don't get an A on something, how about instead of saying the teacher, what's wrong with you, ask the teacher, hey, what could I do to get a better grade on this? That's what I taught my kids to do. I said, I'm not here to give you a grade. I'm here to give you a brain. Okay? And they love me for it. I talked to the head of school there. He said, I've never seen anything like it in my whole career, Dawn. The students love you. The parents love you. I don't know what's going on with my staff. And I said, they feel threatened by me because most of them are lying through their teeth that they know what they're doing. They're policing, but they're not teaching. The name calling that teachers do at that school, the power over plays that teachers do at their school. I've seen grown women have temper tantrums right in front of me. And then when I called them on it, they were like, I did not do any such thing. And I'm like, girl, you throw temper tantrums on the daily because you're in power over mode, because you think multiple choice tests are valid, because the formative and summative tests that they call valid at that school are all messed up. You're building a new curriculum, like Cambridge or whatever you're calling it. You're so far behind. You're not asking the experts to write your curriculum. You're telling your teachers, not paid, might I add, to go write curriculum for you. And they're using ChatGPT. And I wonder, I have a full-time job dedicated to what do teachers need to put in chat to get the best lesson plans, the most diverse activities for students that really engages their brains in literary skills and digital media. And that is not what's happening at one of the most exclusive private schools in South Florida. I thought I was walking into a Jewish school. I thought I was going to learn about Judaism. All I learned about is Zionists who the kids would tell me the things that arrogant British rabbi would say, and then the things he would say to me. And I was like, who does this guy think he is? And then one night at an event, I sat in front of him and the head of school. And the head of school asked him, of all people, what do you think of enlightenment? What are your views on enlightenment? And then I heard the most bizarre, nonsensical conversation I've ever heard in my life. You're asking a non-enlightened man what enlightenment means? Ask me what enlightenment means. Ask somebody who's gone through something real and right in their faces, first-person experience about what enlightenment is. You're asking a rabbi who's sexist, who the kids have complained about time and time again, but they do nothing about. And your leaders are bullies. Like Ursula, I called her Ursula to my family. She looks like Ursula. She sounds like Ursula. She would follow girls in the bathroom to yell at them. She blew me up one day in the group chat, and I was like, this bitch. Lady, you can't even walk the stairs. You have no idea you have no business at the top of your lungs shouting to students, to the sweetest, nicest kids I've ever met, that they're an embarrassment. She's also full of that language on campus. This is why the kids there don't feel safe. Duh. And I told the head of school there, he was like, I want you to like figure it out. And like, you're doing such a great job. And I was like, I told him, I said, you need to tell your staff to get some sunglasses because I'm Dawn and I'm the fucking sun. And I've been teaching for decades longer than most of them. One of them, I was like, hey, do you want to, like, we're both teaching 1984. Do you want it? And she gave me I'm the AP teacher. Girl, that is not AP. That's honors. And the honors classes are more like gen ed. And then the gen ed classes are remedial. But they don't want to call it that because they want to insult the kids or the parents. I get it. But like, I've taught AP Lit since before you were probably a teacher. And you don't want to share content with me? You're in my department? Like, whatever, girl. Like, I don't need friends. I wasn't there to make friends. And I did make friends. I made several friends. They're still my friends. They're still in my world. But I steered clear of a lot of you because you were toxic as fuck to work with. And I tried nicely calling it out to some of your leaders. Like, hey, leave her alone. She deserves the exam exemption. And who is he the day of exams to be searching for her? And then he refers to himself in the third person. Dean, like, what a beta boy who needs to have power over young children. You're shaping their minds and all you're telling them is you're an asshole. And that's where I am these days is I'm not mincing words with people. Okay. I didn't record last week because I fell out of a tree. I got a little shiner here and I got a bruise over here. My kids will tell you, like, Mom, you fell out of a tree, didn't break anything? No. I have 50 years of the cheerleader shuffle. If you know what a cheerleader shuffle is, it's like doing a cheer with a smile on your face and pom-poms in your hand, maybe tossing a huge jump or a backflip with a smile on your face, look pretty, okay? And at this all the time, it's like the boxer shuffle the whole time. I have 50 years of that in my bones. So no, I didn't even break anything. I just was kind of like bruised up and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to make a live today. So I didn't. However, Monday through Friday, I'm going to come on in the 12 to 1 area because that's when my house is quiet and emptiest the most. And I'm going to share what's going on in the news because if you're not paying attention and you're stuck in the culture war, let me pull you out of it and help you dive into the most unstoppable self you've ever been. I told you I live in a city that is Humpty Dumptyville. There's men around me, literally my next door neighbor, Humpty Dumpty. And I told you, if you want to stop them, we the people, there's 8 billion of us and 3,000 or so billionaires. Okay? There's more of us. So we have to get out there. Forget the blue tsunami. If you're a Republican, you need to not vote. Like one of the cute, nice math teachers at the school, she was trying to say it all year long. Honestly, I don't even remember half the people's names anymore. But she was like, I'm not I'm not doing my temple dues. Why am I like? No one's listening to Jewish people who aren't Zionists. The Zionists are totally in control. And they're not out to help any of us. In fact, I told my principal that year, I was like, look, I got a lot going on. My mom had something horrible to her happen to her in her assisted living facility. And so, of course, I sued the asses and pants off that facility. That facility is now closed because of me. Okay? And my mom's story, her first sexual experience in life ever as a teenager was a rape by a man that she went to high school with. And she later saw him at the post office in Hollywood, Florida. And she was like, I told you no. She was mad, but it was like 20 years later. Her last experience on this earth, she's 79 or 78, going to be 79 this year. She has dementia and Alzheimer's. She lives with me. I take care of her. She doesn't remember it, thankfully, but her last sexual experience on earth was also a rape. And so this is the truth of the heart of why am I writing the pleasure curriculum? Because my mother's entire life was dictated by her sexual well-being. And she was a voluptuous, gorgeous woman. People stopped her on the streets to take pictures of her, and sometimes her and I. I mean, our whole lives. And if you've ever seen me, I can gain some weight. The beta boy, teeny weeny, I can't even, I'm combining sociopath and psychopath. The boy in my high school, he gave me, this is hilarious because he thinks it would hurt my feelings. He gave me the nickname in high school, Jabba the Butt. I do have a big ass. I mean, this was coming from a Jewish white boy in 1980s, right? Jabba the Butt. And I was like, well, Jabba's a rich dude. I'll take it. Like, I do gain weight sometimes, but I am gorgeous as is. No nose job, no face work. God gave me my parents' looks, and both of them were good looking. I had nothing to do with it. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to take care of myself my whole life. And I'm going to take care of the thoughts and the books and the information that I'm going to allow in my brain. And I'm fighting this fight for my mother, who I didn't even have a relationship with her growing up. I didn't even live with her as a kid. And now she's living with me. That's how the tables are turned. But to live in a society where you are ignoring the Epstein files when you don't even they are crimes against humanity. And the reason we're going to war with Iran, and the reason we're having a war right now in Mexico, which I have a trip planned to Mexico that I think I need to cancel because I don't know if the people in charge are the people that I give my safety to, because neither of them are talking about real world events. And I brought it up to one of the people in charge, and it's just silence. It's crickets. And crickets tell me you are either complicit. It could be I come on strong, but hey, welcome to my world. Okay? But it also could be that you're not living in the reality that women are living in. And I will tell you this, there is not a woman on the planet that hasn't been treated poorly by a man. Every single one of us. So we obviously don't have as much power as we need to get it to stop. It's the bros that need to get it to stop. It's you talking and calling out your bros. I could have had a relationship with a very nice man that I went to high school with after my husband died. He would have taken great care of me and my kids. But he would go and play basketball with the psychopaths. And he was like, what do you want me to do, Dawn? We had the same temple, we grew up together. And I'm like, I'm smart enough to know that if you can't tell those boys to shut up and sit down, you're not the guy for me. And it took my friend getting almost date raped by one. She's not even a friend anymore because shallow as fuck she was. But it took her almost getting date raped by one of them. That she left her fancy ass boots in his house and ran out of his townhouse in Hollywood and then called us in the middle of the night to come get her. And then I told the guy I was dating, hey, go to you-know-what's house and get my friend's boots, because she left them there because she felt unsafe that he put something in her drink. I tried to tell her, don't go out with him. I warned her. And she said, that's the kind of Jewish boy I like. And I was like, okay, so get what you deserve. Charlie, a good guy that I know, had to go and pick her up in the middle of the night. So I hope when you showed up to his house to get her boots, that you told him off. And I hope you disassociate yourself from people like that, because you lost out on me, bro. And we would have been a great couple. But I was like, no, I won't be around the people, especially the boys I went to high school with, ever on purpose, much less the people I associate, hang out with them. That was an easy choice for me. And I felt bad for him. He's like, I'm never going to see you again, am I? And I was like, no, I'm not the girl for you, because you put up with the nonsense. You don't call out what a lot of us have said since they were teenagers. You're not the chosen ones. You're gross. And we're all about to shut it down. And I hope I've lit a fire under some of you that maybe your worldview is not as open-minded and open-hearted as you think it is. If you're not following what the rest of the world is doing with the Epstein files, the prosecutions, the jail times, the stripping of titles. Yes, Kevin O'Leary, you fat, ugly, bald fuck. Oh, he lost his title. Like, I love what Anna does to you guys. You dumb, white narcissists. Egotistical egotists, echoing, egotistical echoes. That's all I hear. That's all I see. So let's stop calling it white supremacy and just call it what it is. White narcissists. And it doesn't even have to be, it's men and women. The women are equally complicit. One of the English teachers at the last school, she's like, Dawn, we already fought the book battle challenge. Like, I don't want any part of it. Okay, bitch. I hear you. I don't want to be anywhere near you. No, I don't want a part of this building at all. And the reason they keep people, the only reason people stay complicit is because they pay better than a public school and people are stuck. I'm not stuck. And my mouth is not going to be quiet. And I've said it once, I'll say it before. I'm happier than I've ever been, healthy, sturdier leader than I've ever been, and I'm not suicidal. If something ever happens to me, send Bailey. Send Bailey Syrian to investigate my crimes or the crimes that happened, because it wasn't me. So, like, I'm willing to put my neck out there to get these beta boys to sit down. Your turn is over. It gets worse before it gets better. They're going to get louder. They're going to get bossier. They're going to cause more wars to distract you. But it's we, the 8 billion people on the planet versus 3,000 of them. And it is time to fucking go. Let's go. And please go read my latest blog on Humpty Dumpty, because I teach using the story of Humpty Dumpty what's going on in the world right now. And maybe you don't understand what's going on, but from a Humpty Dumpty perspective, it'll help you. Go read my blog. Continue to show up here, because there's lots going on that the good people of the world have to stand up and say, no more. Love her above. I hope this worked. If not, I'm not doing it again. I'll see you tomorrow.